The holiday season is coming up pretty quick right now. And one of the questions I get a lot about is about buy the same token, right? And the different tokens that you may see on my gameplay videos, my live streams, wherever it may be. And I know a lot of people ask, like, what tokens should I look for? Because some of the stuff is expensive. There's no way around it. But some of it I think is actually pretty beneficial to gameplay and kind of like helps me out as a player. And I wanted to highlight those things and talk a bit about cost and all that fun stuff. Now, really important note. Buy the same token did not ask me to make this video or anything like that. I am doing it because I want to do it. But this channel is sponsored by them, and I do have a link down below that if you use it, you get 5% off your order. If you hit free shipping with whatever it is nowadays, I think it's like $100 or $150, whatever it is, you can still qualify for free shipping. So, a lot, not all the stuff, but a lot of the stuff I have and by the same token was given to me. So just, open and transparent about that, but not all the stuff. And again, they didn't ask me to make this video. I just get this question a lot. So I just wanted to cover a few of like my favorite things that if you're thinking as a gift for either yourself or a spouse or a loved one or whatever that really enjoys Marvel Champions and you want to help them out. So I want to start with probably the one I recommend the absolute most, which is the ready and exhaust tokens. Now, right now on the website, we'll go through kind of stuff, but a set of 5, so that, right, is right now $6. And I know what you're thinking, it's a little over $1 a token. It is, but basically one side says ready, one side says exhaust. So if you have a card, um, let's just grab um, Spider Woman here. So if you had a card like Finesse, you put it on the table and you put your token on it and flip it over, right? I mean, obviously that's how it works. But the reason I recommend it is because usually when people are playing on a table nowadays, they'll just tap their card, right? But if you have a bunch of cards lined up and you don't have a ton of space or you have a small play area with a lot of people, once you start doing this over and over and over, you're kind of like moving your cards around, things are getting knocked over and whatever. So ready and exhaust is always the thing I recommend the most to people. I think it's one of the best tokens out there, most useful tokens, I should say, in the game. So I highly recommend that one personally. I also really like when defeated. I should have grabbed your card as an example, but when defeated tokens are really good too, because I have a tendency that like when I defeat something, I just get rid of it really quick and I forget to read it. And that's more of a me problem. Maybe you don't have that problem, but that is something that I kind of end up doing a lot. Unfortunately, I have to look up the price of these because I didn't bring it up, but I think it's like $4 or so. But or 4 or 5, whatever it is. We can look up in a second, but oh, this is blurry. But yeah, I love these tokens because it's just a friendly reminder of things that works pretty well for me. Now, another one is a lot of times you'll have villain cards like this, and it will have something like on the bottom there where this villain gains the aerial trait, or attached villains attacks gain overkill. If you're playing a lot or you're trying to teach somebody, you might forget these things. You might not always look through it. I know they're silly. I know, but they work really well. Now I have 4 of these, and sometimes in my live streams, you'll see that all of a sudden, like my board is just like covered in these don't forget tokens. And whatever. um, but I like it personally because you could get like they sell aerial trait tokens, right? So you could put it on your villain, the aerial trait. They have it for overkill, they have it for everything. But that can add up to be a lot of things. So for me, it's just better to throw a don't forget on it. They are $3 each. So again, a little bit expensive, but again, do they're double sided. So like you can don't forget this side or put on this side of don't forget. So yeah, they're a little expensive for each one. I use them. Like I said, I have 4. You probably only need like 2 or 3, generally speaking, unless you're doing some kind of crazy game. But I really enjoy that token. I think it works pretty well. The next 2, and I forgot the one already because I thought of it and I didn't bring it out, is that I like tokens that help you with cards. Um, and I should prepare for this better, but let me show you an example. So let's just take Spider Woman again. So Spider Woman says when you play an aspect card, Spider Woman gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, +1 defense until the end of the round. So it's basically for each different aspect you play, she can have a bunch in her deck. And you could just lay the cards out and like to kind of remember. You could do different things. I personally like her tokens in particular for this. So they have one for each one. So it starts face down where they are blank, basically, except they have a cool design on one side. And then if you use like a justice card, oh, she gets +1 to her stats now. So it's an easy way to track. Oh, wait, I did a protection card as well. So now I know she gets +2. The round ends, you flip them back over. Tokens like that, I really enjoy. I think they're cool. And again, it's more about making my life easier to track. Magneto Hero is one of my favorite. So again, you could attach this to a non-elite minion. I wish I would have grabbed a minion, but I forgot, of course. Let's see if I can grab one really fast. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so for example, wrapped in metal states hero form only attached to a non-elite minion. Attached minion cannot activate. Treat text box, right? Let me just read that. Treat the printed text box as if it were blank. A lot of people will put this card on, and sometimes you don't always read the thing. Again, it's more so because I'm just lazy, I guess. But they make tokens like wrapped in metal that shows like, oh, it is blanked. We always joke about on stream the tokens, and I am a fan of them. It's hard for me to recommend them, but they generally do work. Where like if you didn't want to do wrapped in metal, right? You wanted a more generic one because things get blanked out. You could just get like token and just cover it. So this could be multi-use. They come in 2 different colors. Each one you have to buy separately, I think. But you could just have it like token instead. If you want to be more thematic, right? You could do a wrapped in metal thing. So that's kind of up to you and what you decide to do there. But I do like these tokens a lot. We'll go over all the pricing stuff soon. So that's that. And those are probably the biggest ones I kind of recommend. The only other one that I've really recommended recently are the threat dial tokens. Now they have hero tokens that are, or I'm sorry, hero dials uh, that are very good too. So they come in each different color, but the game does come with them, right? So for some people they're like, why would I buy it? And they have villain ones as well, but they have a villain dial. They don't have a threat dial. And there's a big one and a small one. And I personally I have all the threat tokens and I've used to use them all the time and I'll use them on like some of the smaller stuff, but I've gravitated toward the big ones. Now, what's the difference between the two? Like why is it just space? It's not just space. So the small one in particular only goes which way? There we go. To 99, right? 99 threat. For the vast majority of people, this is probably good enough, right? This is probably enough threat. If you're playing a 4-player game where things can get absolutely crazy, you could bump this up to 159. I I don't know the situation in which this would happen, but maybe that is a situation. You kind of have to know your game. So whether you need this or this is kind of up to like if you play 4-player a lot and like somehow there's a lot of threat going on, you decide. But generally speaking, the small one is probably going to cover most of your needs. The small one is $8. The big one is $10. So it kind of again, it depends on your game, right? What you're doing. Oh, sorry, the wrapped in metal token is $4. Just FYI. So it kind of depends on what you're doing. But and if you're giving as a gift, generally speaking, you'll be fine with the smaller one, right? Get the cheaper one. If they really, really need the bigger one, they can get it later on. But generally speaking, the smaller one's better. It takes less table space too, which is kind of nice. But I have just, even with the base game components, right? All you have is the threat tokens. It's a lot to like put on and keep track of them or whatever. It's just easier to do dials, right? Obviously with the heroes and the villains and all that fun stuff. Like I said, if you wanted to, you could get villain dials. They have a big one. They have a small one. I think I only have the big one. But they have hero ones as well. These are smoother. They in my opinion, especially the cardboard ones, wear down after time. So if you want something that like doesn't wear down and whatnot, or you just want to upgrade or whatever, right? You can get it in aspect colors, or you could get it just in black as well if that's all you want to. So those are the big ones. I will say too that a lot of people ask about hero boards, and this is really weird to recommend nowadays because they have a generic one that's just like black. I don't even know where it is. I know where it is. It's somewhere on the bottom of a pile because I rarely use it. I've always liked the specific ones for different heroes. I know I have Doctor Strange. People that know me know I don't like Doctor Strange, but I use it for Scarlet Witch a lot. I think the Shield one is gorgeous. Like these boards are gorgeous. I think they're amazing. But with a lot of heroes going out of print, gets a little tough, right? It gets a little tricky. It gets hard to recommend too for certain boards. So if you or your spouse or whatever or friend, niece, nephew, whatever, doesn't matter, really like Spider-Man, it might be worth looking into one of the Spider-Man hero boards. There's actually a few different versions, one for Peter Parker, one for Miles, and one for Ghost Spider. So that's kind of up to you, but do you need these? No. Is it nice to have a spot where it's very easy to kind of rotate the card on? You have a designated space. If you wanted to put the different tokens on, they slot into the spaces. I know I'm using the wrong tokens, so don't judge me. But like, for example, if you had Spider-Woman and you knew the different aspect cards in the deck and you can slot them in, and it's really easy to be like, +1 if D20 lines it up correctly. +1, and this one's +1 as well, and this one's a +1. Like whatever. It's just easy to do that. If you have the stun and confuse stuff, it's easy to do that too. So I like the boards a lot, but I understand some people's hesitations with them. So really quick, I want to look at the screen really fast because people always talk about pricing and how much things are, and obviously some of the stuff is really expensive. Some of the boards are cheaper than others. Like right now, the Black Panther board, which is a nice board, is like $29. Some of them are 30 some dollars, so just be cognizant of that. They have a lot of tokens for very specific cards, right? So if there are certain scenarios that people like really like playing, you might look into it of what you need. But like I said, small dial is $8, 10. Big dial is $10. The comic hero board is a good generic one as well. If they're looking for just a generic hero board, I think this one's pretty solid as well. It's $27. They have, let's see, like I said, all the different trait stuff, all that fun stuff, certain heroes. You can do stat booster tokens. That's up to you. I like them because I don't keep track of everything on my table and I kind of smush them all up. So that's kind of up to you and how you want to approach that. But you don't need them because most of the cards will have those stat boosts on them. But it is a nice thing at times. The Vision Hero board is incredibly nice. They play a lot of Vision. So that's all the main stuff. Aspect dials for heroes are $8 a pop. You could get a condition set, which is all like the when defeated, steady. Like I have this set, it's $30. Again, you could probably use the don't forget token and be just fine. Some people don't like the status cards. I don't I don't like the status cards. I like the tokens more. It takes up less space. $13 for a set. I've never had to buy an extra set of these. Like one set has been most of the time pretty good as a solo player. As two player, maybe you need a bit more. Conditions, one set is more than enough. So the villain dial, you can get black or white. I think I have black. It's $10 for the big one. Again, it goes up to 159 as its max. The small one you can use for hero or villain, whichever you want. I know it says hero dial, but you could do it for villain, especially for solo player or two player. Again, if you get into 4-player games, some of the villains can get over 100 health, so it might not be worth it for that. So just, know thyself with what you play. The big thing people talk about, and I don't even know if it's on here, is the environmental stands, right? The weather stands. Here we go. The villain stands. This stuff gets really expensive. I get people's hesitation with it. So fun fact, I never play with it facing up, generally speaking, because I'm always streaming, so it's always facing down on the table. Is it cool to have? Yeah, it's absolutely cool to have. I really enjoy it. I enjoy dedicated space to things. Is it necessary? Unless you really want it, don't worry about it. But yeah, so like this is what I have, the quote unquote expert villain stand, $238. It's expensive. I'm not gonna lie, it's expensive. But I like, here's the generic hero board, which is fine. It's a fine board. To me, it's kind of boring at this point. Like there's so many cool ones out there that I'd rather do like the comic book one or something, it's just a little more exciting to me. The Groot tokens, like if you play a lot of Groot, which is hard to get now, is really nice. So again, go through the webpage, see what you like. Use my link so you get your 5% off, all that fun stuff. The Marvel Champions set, if you want to just get them a whole generic set of like the acceleration tokens, threat tokens, all that stuff, the status tokens, You could get it $87. A lot of people start with that, and I think that's fine. But I still personally would recommend just kind of like I said, the ready tokens, the don't forget, the when defeated, the threat dials I think are really good. And then just kind of look around the website. If you're buying for yourself, see what you use. Because I play so much Marvel Champions, a lot of this stuff for me is kind of not easy to get. Like it's easier for me to justify because I play so much of it. Like I play a ton, and I want the theme. Like the theming of the game is very good, and that's one of the things that drew me into this game. And the theming is strong, but if I could do anything to enhance that experience to make the theme a little more stronger, right, a little bit better, I'm willing to do that because again, I play hundreds of games of Marvel Champions in a year. The next closest is in the dozens, right? So it's not even like a comparison. I don't mind spending the money on this, but I get that's not an option for most people. So like I said, I would look at the ready exhaust stuff first and foremost. I like don't forget. If you play certain heroes, look at them. The tokens, or if you want to do like wrapped in metal for very specific heroes, are good. There are a lot of times that text boxes get blanked out now, and this stuff is really really nice and it's good generic and it's fun. Like it's funny to bring that on the table, and I like it. And the threat dials I think are pretty good because you have dials for everything else that come with the game. If you want to upgrade them, obviously the options are there. But the threat dials, I think, really add something a little extra and a little bit nicer to things, especially because, again, just removing the tokens and then the tokens are covering the card. If they're not covering the card, they're covering the table, right? And they're all over the place and blah, blah, blah. So that's what I recommend. So hopefully you like this. You can let me know down in the comments if there are certain tokens or whatever that you've really liked that you think have made your experience better. I'm always generally interested in hearing from those people. If you found this video useful, do me a huge favor. Make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, all that fun stuff. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all next time. Don't forget to use the link down below. Save 5%.